You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
It used to be that calling a film a turkey was an insult. Nowadays, there's actually an audience for some of the worst movies ever made.
Baby, you are gonna go broke showing turkeys like these.
Now we're talking turkey.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
It's turkey time. Gobble, gobble.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Let's Talk Turkeys. I'm your host, Movie Miss, and this is our final episode wrapping up Season 2. This is actually going to air in January in the new year, but it is our recap, bloopers, and extras episode. You're going to get to hear never before heard mistakes, bloopers, unused clips from previous episodes, and we're going to, just revisit a few good laughs. So strap in and get ready to hear from not only myself, but my former co-host, our special guests, as well as my new co-host. Hopefully this is a good time and you'll get a few laughs. And you don't follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk Turkeys, I highly recommend it because we do tease ahead of time what the upcoming episode's going to be. So if you want to be in the know, follow us on our socials. And without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Let's get going. We got a lot to do. Brian was definitely a diamond in the rough that I got lucky and stumbled across because of our mutual love for another podcast. He really, really knows his stuff. If you've listened to the episodes, then you know I'm not lying. So here is some stuff from Blockbuster Brian.
325 Beaumont. Ask for the Cunningham Wake.
I think, and I don't know how much is true of how he was created in Wes Craven's mind to come to be, but you've got your glove.
Oh, I got all my gimmicks here. I mean,
is that a Halloween costume or is that like actually sharp?
It's dull metal, so like if you take it on certain stuff, it'll screech. But overall, no. This was one of my keepsakes. I don't have anything here I can do it. My pipes are all down there, which the unfinished utility room looks like the boiler room. There's like all these pipes down there. So there's a part where I'll take this across the vent. It's like, and I'm like, damn it.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
But Joey dies in an amazing scene. I mean,
with Robert Englund's stunt double and the nude lady in the waterbed.
The nude lady in the waterbed.
Talk about a wet dream. God damn it.
So good.
It is.
In fact, that's my favorite death, my best kill is Joey, but also Rick with the martial arts. To me though, Joey beats it because Rick's death.
He does beat it. Actually, history did not record if he was mid-stroke when that happened. I'm not talking about the swimming kind, if you know what I mean.
Death by
Freddy and the kids. Do. I think if we ever do the Hellraiser series, we can say I'm a chain man and get some,
Woo! It's crazy and silly, but also freaky at the same time.
Yeah, Howard Berger from K&B will tell you that dude, Screaming Mad George, he deserves that name. He does some wild shit. You ever had the pleasure or misfortune, depending how you view it, of watching Society, some of the grossest body horror shit you will ever see in your life?
Is that him?
That's him.
I finally watched that last year for the first time ever.
Yeah.
What a treat for the horror fan, let me tell you. That movie is bonkers.
Yes. Maybe Rennie Harlan ghost directed it.
Right after you got done with a long kiss goodnight.
Yeah. Damn, you talk about a double feature. I'm not long kissing anything on that movie. Good night. In my opinion, she's my favorite. This is how you avoid getting beat up at conventions. You say, it's my favorite. It's not the best. What'd you say? Which Friday was better? I'm going to put you in a tent and swing you around and slap you naked and hide your clothes. Yeah, no. That's what my grandpa would say.
Reel it in. Reel it in.
There's a lot of ways you can do it. I'm not saying there's like a one size fits all, but I think that would honestly be the best way to do it. So you almost get to do your parody of everything and make all those riffs, like you said, writes itself.
Right? Hollywood,
like
hire me.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Here's
Hire
about
us.
me.
We want to write this movie.
It's going to be your secondary podcast where it's an audio show and we just read the scripts off after having a few Manhattans. And then, it's another movie with a guy in a mask and a big sword. Let me tell you about guys with big swords. All right. That's like a skeleton doing the drums.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank you, Brian, for joining me today.
Oh, anytime. And just remember, you'll have unpleasant dreams later. Yeah.
I was going to sign off with that, but you beat me to it, you jerk.
Oh, yeah.
So I also had my husband on, who is a comic book nerd, self-proclaimed. I called him an aficionado. We did Howard the Duck and the Dolph Lundgren version of The Punisher on the show so far. Trying to rope him into some more. We'll see. Cross your fingers for me. I was lucky enough to have the original audio, so I got a little bit with him. So here's that bit.
Indiana Jones, I guess they worked on together, and somehow 2 awards for the American Graffiti screenplay also
Right. So
happened
this would
for
be
him.
the famous UFC film school. It was called the UFC Mafia, which was Lucas and Spielberg and a bunch of their cronies.
USC. This isn't wrestling or whatever.
I'm sorry.
UFC. Fighting. This isn't fighting.
This movie might as well have been made by wrestlers. If you told me Hulk Hogan directed this piece of garbage, I'd believe you.
That is going to wrap up our conversation on this gem of a motion picture.
Oh, thank God.
If anyone is interested, and God, why would you want to watch this movie? It is currently available pay streaming on Amazon Prime and on Peacock. I would like to thank my co-host for...
What do they call Peacock on Duck World?
I would like to thank Mike for joining me today to discuss this. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
For you, no charge. I thought the best iteration of him, Dolph Lundgren, kind of fits the bill with the shoe polish and the hair. Thomas Jane was okay. The guy I always thought should have played him at the time when they started making movies was I can't think of his name now.
No, take a second
sorry.
because it's okay if there's a delay. I can edit this part out. Do you want me to pause and you can look it up?
No, it was a guy named Ken Wall who was in a series called Wise Guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as he opened his mouth, I didn't really pay attention to what he had to say. I had to rewind it because I expected him to go, "It's me, Mario." Like as soon as he started talking. I don't have the original audio for everything, unfortunately, but I did have one little bit with a repeat guest. Titan is a joy to have on the show, and I hope to have him on again. His love of things weird and spooky just is a joy to me to talk to him about. So hopefully we'll have him back, but I do have a little bit with him. So let's get to that.
I forgot about Silver Bullet too. That's definitely top of my list.
I mean, young Corey Haim, Gary Busey, and a werewolf? Come on.
And the best scene, it hurts my parts. We say that at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Billy sees that Richie is loading his gun and saying that this is getting out of hand. And I love that Richie says, "Wrong, this has been out of hand."
Now it's time for me to put it in hand.
He's the MVP.
Yes.
As you know, we had some technical difficulties with the audio when we were recording the UHF episode, and that was with my guest host, Darren. And there was a bit cut out that I want to go ahead and play for you now that was going to be in the episode, but I wasn't able to fix the audio well enough. At this point, I was able to recover the best I could, so I'm going to go ahead and play that bit for you, as well as some outtakes of us trying to record with technical difficulties. So here is the UHF portion with Darren.
So this is Uncle Nutsy's clubhouse, as you mentioned, and we cut to the audience gallery off to one side with exactly 7 unenthusiastic children. They don't give 2 shits that they're there. So one kid spits on George. And I love, if you watch the kid, you can tell he's trying not to laugh after he does it. It's so good.
I'm wondering if it's a play on the last name Spitz. Because there was there's Mark Spitz, the famous Olympian, and because he goes, "What's your name, Billy? Billy what? Whoopoo? Billy Spitz."
That's impressive, sir.
Like I said, these are the thoughts, or to quote George Carlin, these are the thoughts that kept me out of the really good schools.
So then we cut to Uncle Nutsy's clubhouse, and a very miserable George is telling kids, complaining, and he's like, "Shut up, you little weasel," to one of the kids. It's so funny to see him play crabby guy because he's usually upbeat, optimistic guy. Again, like everything in this movie, it has to be seen. You have to see his facial expressions, how upset he is. It's actually really funny.
It is. And also, I think the kid, a little weasel too, was, so it's come back, tired of you being here too.
Oh, you froze again.
He said, "Shut up. Let me know when I'm back."
You're back.
Oh, I think the little kid was Billy Spitz. So it's like, yeah, telling him "shut up, little weasel" was kind of like his way to get back at him. Yes, I was familiar with Emo Phillips back in the day because I had HBO, and I saw one of his comedy specials, and instantly I gravitated towards that brand of humor. I was like, it was very much in key with Weird Al, just absurd observational stuff, or what they call garden path humor, where you think it's going one way and it goes somewhere else. One of his classic jokes was, "When I was a boy, I prayed to God."
Oh man, you froze, and I could tell this was going to be a good joke. Damn it. Son of a bitch.
Where did I freeze?
You need to start over with one of his bits was.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry. And I really laughed at this quick car commercial from Crazy Ernie, who will club a baby seal to make a better deal. And there's an actual seal in the commercial on the cars. I would not buy a car from this man. Terrible.
He was a parody of a electronics dealer out of New York called Crazy Eddie.
Yes, now that you say that. Yes.
Reduced, not a seal.
Oh, you're frozen. You're smiling, but you're frozen.
So everybody knows that the original co-host for Let's Talk Turkeys with me was Nikki Flicks. And we had a lot under our belt, so many episodes. Unfortunately, I didn't have the original audio for all of them, but what I was able to salvage, I do have some outtakes and some fun extras. So here's the stuff with me and Nikki Flicks.
And that he's like taking pictures with Warren.
Yeah.
He's smiling and posing like back to back. It's very 90s. So then we have, okay, sorry. So, hang on here. Sorry. Lost my place. Cut this out. La la la.
The fortune cookie thing is so on it. Like that just nails it. Like
completely the way that he is. Sorry, drink break there.
Now he's ready to dine and dash because he finds out that she's potentially wanting a real relationship. I roll.
Yeah, it was a blast to record. I don't care if it takes 10 hours to record something because we're stopping every 3 minutes to laugh because it's all good times.
Is that not the point?
Right. Which is why we're here doing this in the first place. I find that all the characters seem to have their own little theme music in this. So, okay. I lost where I was. God, I have the sloppiest handwriting. So later we learn that the man who died's name was Victor Pascal, and that comes into play later, that we keep hearing his name and we have to know it. So then we cut to Ellie changing out the... I can do this, I swear I'm not drunk.
So if you're a fan of the idea but don't think it's executed properly, go get the audiobook. Michael C. Hall is brilliant. He makes a perfect Lewis.
All right. Well, we want to thank you all for listening, as always. And until next time, we'll see. We want to thank you all for listening. And until next time, goodbye.
Christ on his throne. No. Whoever would.
But then she asks him, is that a crime to wish the chewing of law enforcement?
Right.
Because you can just arrest me for that too.
Yeah.
And I like that when she says that to him, the look on his face, the deputy is like, what?
He's concerned that she might get, or she's concerned. Yeah. I'm not drunk, I swear. This is water, not vodka. She's concerned that saying that might get her in trouble, but she also called them all cocksuckers. If you're staring at that thing and it's wet and has this gleam in its eye and it just looks so real and everyone backs off and suddenly you're in the middle of this murky lake staring at that thing, I probably would have peed. I would have peed a little bit.
All right, everyone. On that note, we are going to bid you a farewell. We will see you next time.
Happy 100th birthday, Betty. I leave you with a Betty White quote. Remember to get at least 8 hours of beauty sleep. 9 if you're ugly.
I'll cut out my laugh. Holy shit. That's amazing.
That's one of my favorite quotes from her ever. There's a million I had a hard time choosing, but that's one of my favorite things the woman ever said.
And then, of course, in 2010, we got Lost Boys: The Thirst. And we do get a touching scene in this movie of Edgar going to Sam's grave, and he puts the comic down on his grave, the vampires everywhere. And I was like, oh, I heard that.
My battery's dying.
Do you have any other closing thoughts, feelings, opinions?
I adore this movie. Kiefer Sutherland has a lot to do with a lot of how weird I am. His portrayal, the way that he made vampirism look has a lot to do with why I'm fucked up as a human being. So thank you to him and everyone involved in that.
Do you have something? I'll cut me out saying this, but do you have something to say at the tag at the end after I say goodbye?
Of course.
And on that note, we will see you all next time. Goodbye.
They're only noodles, Michael.
Yeah. But Michael interrupts him and says, is it true that Santa Carla is the murder capital of the world? And Grandpa's response cracks me up. Ooh. Sorry about that. I'll cut that out. Okay, go ahead and give us Grandpa's response. Do you remember what it was?
But Cooper thinks this means they're on the right track because look, we thought he might do it and he did. Cliff is, of course, breathing though, and he gets taken away by ambulance. And Cooper is...
Wait, when they put the oxygen on him and he takes a big hit and he's like, yeah, or whatever. It's just oxygen, buddy.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Better Off Dead. This is pure snow.
I'm with Buckley. I feel it. I think surveilling yourself is a bit much.
I swear to God, I want black and white blown up posters of just me going,
yes, it's
like being caught off guard.
Yes.
Just everywhere. That way, eventually, when someone finds me dead in my bedroom, they're going to go, what the hell kind of life did she live? And scene.
To the effective POV camera shots, the music, everything coming together to make an enjoyable few minutes. We get panning as
how is he not just cracking up knowing that he looks ridiculous? That's acting. That's really good acting.
He almost looks like one of the people under the stairs.
He does. He looks like Roach. That's what I'm saying.
Amber. So
okay, people, anyone who has no idea what we're talking about. At some point we will talk People Under the Stairs, which will lead us into a conversation about that amazing actor, which will lead us to that commercial where he had a mouthful of peanut butter and had to say Aaron Burr.
It all connects.
Yes.
Just then, Vince the dog comes running over with a bone, a very large bone, gives it to Art. And as Art and Ray are talking, he throws it and Vince plays fetch with him. And then when the dog brings it back, Art stands there for a minute and looks at it and he goes, "Oh my God, Ray, this is a human bone." And Ray's like, "Yeah, it's a bone. It's a femur." Ray's all, "It's a femur bone."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but again, the deadpan delivery of that cracks me up.
Which of course scares the shit out of Art because Art realizes you're chanting. You're chanting. Oh no.
Yep. Unconscious chanting. They got in your head, Ray. They got you.
Yep. And it is definitely Satanism.
the chant that he tells Ray.
I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is our pal. I'm looking at this and thinking, now this is my kind of vacation.
So on that note, we want to thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time. Oh, do me a favor. Will you just give that line about the brownie so I can end it on? I love ending on a funny tag.
No, just say goodbye to me and then I'll do that.
Goodbye.
There go the goddamn brownies.
Oh my God. So then we cut to nighttime at the Bolorama, and little Dolores is arriving on her skateboard and she sees Balmudo, the Scorpion motorcycle gang. Okay, hi. Cut to nighttime at the Bolorama, where Dolores arrives on her skateboard and sees that the leader of the Scorpion bike gang, Balmudo, is sitting out front all by himself. We learn also in the scene that Johnny is hooking up with Paulette, or wants to hook up with her. He doesn't want to date her like Stephanie, but he wants to hook up with her. Everyone starts bowling and dancing now. Everyone starts bowling and dancing now, and the song and dance in the scene is Score Tonight. It was filmed over 58 days, mostly in California. Directed by Patricia Birch. But they've got this big above ground pool in the middle, and it's daytime still, so unlit, but tiki torches all around, tiki huts. Everyone's got grass skirts and leis, and I wanted to be there. I want this party.
I want to go to this luau. I want to be there.
All right, everyone. We want to thank you all for listening, and I guess we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Where does the pollen go?
Yes! So now she realizes the time and runs off, abandoning him okay. Try that again. So she realizes the time and runs off after saying her name is Jane. Let's chat. Let us know what you want us to cover. We really want to have some conversations with you. We'd love to have you on as a guest, maybe covering your favorite bad movie. So let us know. And on that note, we will see you all next time. Goodbye.
What a moron.
So this next bit that I'm going to share with you is just a smattering of random clips of just me. No particular episode is identifiable. It's just stuff that's happened over multiple episodes. So here is Movie Miss.
And to that, I say I fart in your general direction. Oh, wait, wrong movie. Okay. To that. No. Oh, really? Well, fine. Take that. Okay, reverse raspberry maybe on that one. Wait, I can't do it like Mrs. White. Reverse raspberry. Nope. So I don't know if you can even hear that. Does that even make a sound? All right, then. Peace out.
One of my favorite movies, or so far with Showgirls is up there, but my favorite movie to record was 50 Shades of Grey. The movie is not good, but the podcast is highly re-listenable. That episode has me in stitches. There weren't a lot of bloopers and outtakes from that. I'm just going to give you some laughs that we shared and bits that I think are funny from my favorite bad episode, 50 Shades of Grey. And I love that he just looks her right in the eye and he goes, "No, Anastasia, I'm not gay." I swear to God, I spit my water out.
Okay, so the one and only redeeming thing about him is that he's not offended at the question. That was a lovely character arc. He's changed so much in the last 5 minutes. This is the end of the movie. Roll credits.
I'm dead.
Just the end. Kinky, naughty things. He asked her if she trusts him. Okay, you are literally the only person she's ever had sex with. Of course she trusts you. I roll so hard.
She reminds him her computer's broken. To which,
no, it isn't.
To which he responds with another, "Laters, baby." I just threw up in my mouth. Yes, and then she goes into Gray House, the big building where Gray Enterprises is, I guess.
This is where the important businessman, Mr. Christian Grey, conducts his important business.
It's so dumb.
Yes, he has business meetings with business people at his business. And apparently when she's walking in, apparently the only requirement that you work at Mr. Gray's business place of business is that you be tall, blonde, look like a model, and only wear the color gray. And female.
Breathe.
And then that you're female. I roll.
Oh.
My eyes are already rolling so hard I'm like straining them and they're gonna pop out of my skull. And we're like 3 minutes into the movie. This is not going well.
Her ticket is for first class, which shocks her. She's like, "What? Okay, how many times have you flown and your ticket that you're holding in your hand says where you're sitting? You don't look at it until you've literally had the person boarding you tell you where you're sitting?"
No. You look at your ticket every time because that's how you know which boarding group you're in, stupid. Did she just wander up to the gate and go, "Is this where the airplane is?" Like, oh, really? Really, bitch?
So, question number 1. Does this movie play out the same if Christian isn't rich? Do they get past the first date? If he pulls up?
Do you imagine? He rolls up in a Pinto and he's like, "Hey, baby, let me show you my playroom." And what it is a harness over his combo shower tub in his 1-bedroom apartment. Could you imagine?
Yes, that's why I wanted to see if you were imagining the same thing. So my new co-host, Dave, Drive-In Dave, he has been a breath of fresh air. He was a guest for a few episodes, and I just knew there was something there and had to keep his ass around. But in the meantime, I do have some fun outtakes with Dave. So here are those. Enjoy.
Our handle is @GobblePodcast. Plus, we're on Twitter with @thehandle.
Nope.
So now I understand why actors have so many friggin' problems with this stuff.
That's going on the blooper reel, just so you know.
It should. It definitely should.
Perfect. Or as they say on Mystery Science Theater, it stinks.
I was just watching that a little while ago, too.
You know, like Blockbuster Brian said on my last episode, you don't get to pick your own nickname or it doesn't count. So I'm gonna have to come up with one for you.
That makes sense. I mean, every nickname I've ever gotten has been given to me by somebody else.
Exactly, or it's not legit.
No one wants to call me Big Dick McGee, so whatever. Especially as like the cabin seems to be only like what 3 or 4 minutes away from the shack.
Yes, they're like so close apparently. Okay. Sorry, my notes were in there. Okay. All right. My allergies are getting the better of me today as well.
Trying not to cough too much.
All right. So now we're going to get the inciting incident.
So I had so much fun recording this episode. I mean, I literally nearly peed my pants. Okay, I probably peed my pants. Here we go. But one of the gremlins was going to decapitate the mother.
Now, this tells you right there, especially especially having done Piranha and The Howling prior, he was very horror-minded.
Much like typical Thanksgiving dinners, this movie in the end came out not too bad, but during the process was like being tortured.
So the sheriff chastises Mr. Turkey now for cursing. And the turkey says I'm sorry. The sheriff now chastises the turkey for cursing. And the turkey responds by saying he didn't know that midgets couldn't cuss. So we do a quick cut now to Allie's house, where Turkey walks in on her and some rando having sex. So here's the thing. In the credits, this guy is Kevin Stewart, credited as Allie's boyfriend.
So
what? Why is she trying to?
That's confusing. I mean, I guess at that point it does confirm that her legs are harder to close than the John Benet Ramsey case.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate you. Okay. You're hurting my throat. Okay. That was well timed. Good job.
Apparently this ball lasts for multiple days.
Apparently.
That's a really big ball.
I see what you did there. Low-hanging fruit. What?
I was going to say monkey gets apple.
Amen. This movie makes it too damn easy. All right, listeners, stay tuned for the tags at the end. We want to interact with you on social media, so please jump on there. Let us know your thoughts and feelings about Thanksgiving, as well as things you would like us to cover in the future. And until next time, gobble, gobble, motherfucker. Can you do a turkey like a blah, 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 I don't know what noise they make.
I have no idea how to. I can, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
That's the best I can do. Blah, 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 blah.
All right. Wait, try it again. Tom wanders off, and then Sarah and Max share leftover. Or blah, blah, blah. That was way bad. So back at the table now, we get the Santa letter reading. We get. She says that. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry. So for our blooper and retrospective type episode here, Dave, I wanted to just ask you, you've been on a few episodes as a guest host. You were on Godzilla, The Unnameable, and Pumpkinhead as a guest host. And then we had you on full time. We did Thanksgiving, Jingle All the Way, and Krampus. So you had, 7 movies.
And Gremlins.
Oh, Gremlins. So there, yes, sorry. So 7 movies that we've covered together. I want your thoughts on what was your favorite episode to cover. Tell me why. Like, what are your feelings on how this has been a road for you so far?
Okay, so far my favorite, I'm gonna say it's a tie between Gremlins, because I absolutely love that movie, and then Godzilla, because again, I absolutely love that movie. So those, and plus Godzilla, like, you popped my podcasting cherry. So it was kind of nice to experience that.
There's an image.
Like that, I have very fond memories of that one. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, no, that's as far as least favorite. I mean, recording them all, I've enjoyed. Watching the movie, okay, Thanksgiving is up there because there's a couple of good scenes that make that movie really good. But until you get to those scenes, it's just hell.
Agreed.
And don't tell Shara, but I had some trouble with Jingle All the Way.
Oh, spoiler alert, she'll probably hear this. That's okay, because we all got to hear the venom I had to spew about Jingle All the Way. So I was not a fan of that movie.
I could tell. Like it seemed like it did some personal damage to you.
So going forward, what are you hoping that we can do with the show? I mean, they're turkeys, obviously, and we're going to laugh about them.
I don't mind doing my favorites. I mean, we are in luck that majority of my favorites are pretty much shit movies. So I happen to have a taste for shit. Take that as you will.
I've seen a lot of bad shit in my day.
I'm currently going through. I mean, that's like the girlfriend. Our favorite hobby when we get a chance to is we will watch shitty movies on Tubi. And there's like there's like so many of them.
So the last thing I want to close out on is I just want to tell you heartfelt that I am so happy you came on to the show and that you wanted to do this as a full-time co-host, because I have had such a blast enjoying these horrible movies with you, and a couple of good ones, mostly horrible. So I just want you to know that I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and thank you. And I look forward to a brand new year of this with you.
First off, I want to thank you for posting bail so that I can do the podcast. I appreciate that.
I'll bill you.
But no, seriously though, I love being able to do this. This has been a blast. It's a lot of fun to record. Not always fun to watch, but that's okay. I can live through it. Just between you and me, I have wanted to be co-host ever since Godzilla. So my dream finally came true.
I'm telling you, it's what we do at the show. We make dreams come true. All right, Dave. Thank you so much, and happy holidays to you, sir. And I will see you in the new year.
So this is going to wrap up the Bloopers and Extras episode. Hopefully this was fun for you to get a little peek behind the curtain, as it were. Please subscribe and listen on the podcasting platform of your choice. Reviews, of course, don't hurt. We would love some of those. You can find us on our socials. Just listen for the tag at the end. We would love to be interacting with you. And on that note, until next time, goodbye.
The end.
Hey listeners, Movie Miss here. Listen, I know you have a lot of options when it comes to podcasts, so thank you for listening to the show. I know everybody says this, but for a fledgling little show like ours that's just hanging on, we just finished season 4, we're rolling into season 5, it would really help us if you could subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Good Pods. We're also on Pandora, Audible, Amazon Music. It would really help us grow the show and reach more people if you could subscribe and then rate and review, which is really the key part of it. Make sure to be part of our bad movie conversation by following us on social media. Interact with me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Movie Miss, which is movie_miss. The show is on Instagram at Let's Talk Turkeys. Also on Blue Sky at Let's Talk Turkeys and Facebook. We're on X. I'm honestly not sure how much longer I'm going to have the show on there, but currently the handle is at Gobble Podcast. Get it? Gobble, 'cause like a turkey. You can also chat with like-minded bad movie lovers in our Facebook discussion group. And like I mentioned, we're rolling into season 5. It is 2025. The show, it's been a wild ride, still going strong. So if you have a movie that you would like to hear covered on the show, let me know by emailing direct at letstalkturkeys, all one word, at yahoo.com. Also, hit me up on socials if you want to be a guest on the show. Always looking for guests. I can assign you a movie, something we think is fun, or you can bring a movie that you think is a bad movie if it has a low Rotten Tomatoes score, or you just really don't like the movie but you like to talk about it. That's half the fun, I think. again, this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it. Without you, the show wouldn't still be kicking around. So thank you so much for hanging in there with us.
I'll be back.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I cannot. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get the fuck out of here? Well, get the fuck out of here. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.